The consciousness and the cosmos, a path to one's own inner cosmos.
In assistance of the more profound understanding of the current planetary transition, a stimuli that accompanies the pilgrim in his return to his cosmic home.
The Consciousness and the Cosmos radio program of Uksim Planetary Service Centre. Hello dear listeners, my name is Jez.
My name is Arowinak.
We will be hosting the program. Today's topic is one wonderful being called Fer Jansensen, in search of cosmic reality, came across Cosmosophy on his return to Argentina. Having been living in Peru for many years, here in Capilla del Monte in Argentina, he came once to Uksim to participate in one of the weekly talks that Daniel Gagliardo gives, and offered to make 20 reels on Instagram with 20 cosmosophical questions, starting with the first 10 questions. In the following program, we will continue with the revelation of the rest.
What is Cosmosophy?
La cosmosofía es la manifestación de la vida interna en la conciencia del individuo. Cuando un individuo tiene la madurez suficiente como para entrar en la alineación, en sintonía con su energía interna, con su esencia interna.
Daniel Gagliardo says, Cosmosophy is the manifestation of material life in the consciousness of the individual. When an individual has the sufficient maturity to enter into alignment, into synchronization with his internal energy, with his internal essence, with his internal source, one of the experiences that he could live, according to his evolutionary needs, is the capture of the internal current and emergence in his awareness of a philosophy of inner order. It means a philosophy that does not depend on identifying consciousness with matter. So, Cosmosophy is a set of internal revelations. It is what the internal life can stimulate from a degree of maturity of the ego and personality to be able to lead the individual, the material being, to the lower self, on the evolutionary trajectory that the law of karma offers in the material experiences.
Who was and who is Daniel Gagliardo?
Un joven que a los 11 años aproximadamente vivía una sed muy profunda de conocer cosas que el sistema no le ofrecía, que el colegio no me ofrecía, y de repente mientras mis amigos jugaban al fútbol leía budismo esotérico tibetano.
A young man who, at approximately 11 years old, experienced a very deep thirst to know things that the system did not offer him, that the school did not offer him. While his friends were playing soccer, he was reading esoteric Tibetan Buddhism. It is the research of that search and having stepped aside from the system to the extent that he could have sufficient lucidity. And that was going through the process that we were outlining in the first question: what is cosmosophy? His consciousness began to be more and more receptive to internal life, and he began to dispense with what he was looking for in books. He began to gradually find himself. So currently, some say that he is a reference for that same process that more and more beings are trying to close, concretize, or at least approach from a different state of consciousness that takes them away a little from this very chaotic system that has captured the majority of humanity. So to summarize, he is a Cosmosophy instructor. That is, an instructor who cooperates with others so that they can go to meet their internal stimuli and tell them that it's true, that it's possible, and that it works.
What is Uksim? Is the following question.
Un lugar, un ámbito, un campo de energía donde un conjunto de personas, impreciso porque va variando, intentan servir al planeta, intentan sintonizar su energía interna y en conjunto generar una sinergia.
And Daniel Gagliardo answers. Uksim is a planetary service center. In other words, it is an area, an energy field, where a group of people, imprecise because it varies, try to serve the planet, synchronizing their internal energy and generate a synergy appropriate to the planetary situation. For us, says Daniel Gagliardo, service, that is why we speak of planetary service, is the capacity that the consciousness must achieve to manifest the inner life, with its mental substance, emotional field, and actions. Otherwise, there is no service.
So Uksim is a center where the groups of beings, the group that lives in it, with the visitors we receive, try to express their internal life through the thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's not an easy job, but it is a job that demands simplicity. Ease and simplicity are not the same. Generally, the beings that inhabit the planet's surface we see as a great inconvenience to something very difficult, to synthesize our life, simplify life, and be less superfluous. A planetary service field is a field where transcendence and superficiality are rehearsed, and the renunciation of selfish and personal goals, so that precisely as a planetary service center it manifests and addresses universal goals.
What is ERKS?
ERKS es una entidad, es un estado de conciencia. Algunas personas, por limitaciones o características de su personalidad, la definen como una ciudad intraterrena, incluso aún peor, como una ciudad subterránea. No es subterránea y no es ciudad. ERKS es un estado de conciencia, es una entidad. Es una entidad planetaria.
ERKS is an entity, a state of consciousness. Due to limitations or personality characteristics, some people defined it as an intraterrestrial city, or even worse, an underground city. It is not a city, and it is not underground. ERKS is a state of consciousness. It is an entity installed and implanted in a planetary center. There is a difference between planetary center and inner civilizations. Inner civilizations like ERKS are settled in planetary centers.
ERKS es accesible solamente a nuestro nivel superior de conciencia. Los seres que pueden entrar en contacto con ERKS lo hacen a través de un núcleo de su propia conciencia que se llama mónada o se denomina mónada, más conocida como espíritu. Entonces,
thus beings cannot enter ERKS or contact ERKS out of spiritual or philosophical ambition. ERKS contacts beings in the deepest course of their consciousness. ERKS is made up of sidereal cosmic entities of different ranks, of different origins. In fact, no being is from the planet where it is temporarily undergoing an evolutionary experience. We beings who are temporarily making evolutionary experiences and who defined ourselves as terrestrial find shelter, stimuli, and inner nourishment in ERKS that we could hardly find in any other field.
Where do we come from and where are we going?
venimos de la matriz cósmica universal. Toda conciencia es el producto de partos cósmicos. Los partos cósmicos son oleadas continuas que la energía de creatividad.
We come from the universal cosmic matrix. All consciousness is the product of cosmic birthing, which is continuous waves that the energy of creativity, the creative life, emits and sustains. Therefore, all of us are products of cosmic births. And where do we go? We are going to the infinite, to the infinitude, to eternity, because when we are cosmically born, we are nurtured with something very interesting. It is immortality. This is one of the worst consequences that materialism has, that people fear dying precisely because they do not understand that they are eternal. We come from these cosmic births. We go through the mineral kingdom, the vegetable, the animal. We reach the human. We go to the spiritual, the monadic, the divine, the logoic. The evolution never ends. That is to say, we go towards an infinite evolutionary scale. We have a beginning as a consciousness, but we have no end. So each scale that we make on each planet, solar system, is precisely an opportunity of the creative life, of the evolutionary law, so that our expanding consciousness fulfills the higher will.
What is a human being?
El ser humano o la humanidad es una línea evolutiva, como existen otras tantas líneas en el cosmos. El proceso humano evolutivo comienza en el reino mineral, sigue en el vegetal, luego pasa al animal, después a lo que nosotros en la superficie de la Tierra le llamamos humanidad.
The human being, or humanity, is an evolutionary line, as many other lines exist in the cosmos. The human evolutive process begins in the mineral kingdom. It continues in the vegetable, then passes into the animal, and then to the human kingdom, on the surface of the planet, also called humanity. Because we do not understand that part of the human evolutionary trajectory begins in the mineral kingdom, passing through the vegetable and then through the animal. But then human evolution, or the human kingdom, continue towards the spiritual, monadic, divine, logoic universe. That is to say, humanity is not strictly, nor has its trajectory strictly, what we define as an anthropomorphic cultural condition as we understand the civilization we define as human. So, in the same way that it has all that trajectory from the mineral kingdom to the logoic, that is, the highest of the cosmos, also in other planets there is the human evolutionary line, only that under the factors and conditions that the cosmicity of these planets require.
What is planet Earth?
Si vamos a partir de lo sistémico, el planeta Tierra es un subvórtice solar sistémico. Quiere decir, es uno de los vórtices de manifestación de un sistema solar. Entonces, la Tierra, como cada uno de los planetas, de condiciones a veces muy diferentes, pero planetas igual, la Tierra a nivel cósmico es un campo de preparación, de aprendizaje, es una escuela cósmica.
If we start from the systemic, the planet Earth is a systemic solar subvortex. That is, it is one of the vortexes of manifestation of a solar system. The Earth, like each of the planets, have sometimes very different conditions, but planets are just the same at the cosmic level. It is a field of preparation, of learning. It is a cosmic school. Conscious beings come to Earth to undergo evolutionary experiences related to terrestrial energy vibrations. A being cannot go to any planet to concretize, to realize its evolutionary process. A being can only go to the planet with which he transitorily keeps an evolutionary empathy. That is to say, that planet, hidden silently, represents the cosmic magnet for this consciousness, groups of consciousnesses, because the Earth's influence or attracts mineral, vegetable, animal, human monads, and even of higher ranks. So the Earth, like any planet, is a context, a vortex of energy with conditions suitable to the evolution of the particles conducted to it.
What is the cosmos?
El cosmos podría ser definido como la totalidad, porque no hay nada que no sea cosmos. No importa el tenor evolutivo de una partícula, de una conciencia, todo es cosmos. Solo que hay que mirar el cosmos con amplitud.
The cosmos could be defined as the totality, because nothing is other than cosmos. No matter the evolutionary tenor of a consciousness, everything is cosmos. It is only necessary to look at the cosmos with the amplitude, with the necessary amplitude to understand that nothing is outside the cosmos and that everything is the cosmos.
Because the consciousness, the particle, no matter if it has an immense evolutionary range, as is a solar system or a galaxy, or is a particle, that is in primary stages of the mineral kingdom, each and every one of them, from the active principle of cosmicity present in it, are cosmos. There are two cosmic poles. One of the universe is under laws of expansion, and the other that of the universe is under laws of inalterance. It does not matter which of the two cosmic currents, everything is cosmos.
What are we doing here?
Lo que estamos haciendo acá es expresar la conciencia, ensayar la relación de la conciencia con la vida cósmica. Estamos encontrando en el acá, en el ahora, ¿sí?, el contexto donde podemos ensayar la expansión, donde podemos ensayar la evolución, donde podemos ensayar la sintonía gradual con leyes cada vez más elevadas.
Let's hear what Daniel Gagliardo says. What we are doing here is experiencing consciousness and living, practicing the relationship of consciousness with cosmic life. We are finding in the here, in the now, the context where we can experience expansion and evolution, where we can experience gradual synchrony with the higher and higher laws. What we are doing here is to grow. What we are doing here is manifesting the cosmic life that is present in us. So no one is from here. There are people who, when they are very identified with the place, say, I am from here, this is my place. No one is from anywhere. That is to say, to feel very tied to a place is not to understand what it really means to be from here.
To be from here means to be of the consciousness. Here is my consciousness, because wherever cosmic life puts me, here will always be the same, my consciousness. As we deepen the relationship with our consciousness, we understand that here is inside, not outside. Therefore, it is very important to take advantage of the outside to understand where the here is, and the here is within us.
What is the internal being?
El ser interno es nuestra partícula superior de conciencia, nuestro campo superior de conciencia. El ser interno se subdivide en núcleos del mismo modo que el ser externo, quiere decir la personalidad de la cual el ego se sirve para las experiencias evolutivas. Entonces, la constitución del ser interno es el campo intuitivo.
The internal being, says Daniel Gagliardo, is our higher particle of consciousness, our higher field of consciousness. The internal being is subdivided into cores in the same way as the external being, that is, the personality, which the ego uses for evolutionary experiences. So the constitution of the internal being is the intuitive field, the spiritual field, the monadic field, and the divine field. In other words, our divine consciousness is the upper particle of the internal being. The immediate lower particle is the monada, the spirit of the inner self. Then There is the particle of the spiritual field of the being, known as spiritual, body of light, or the consciousness of light.
And then there is the intermediate level, which is the intuitive field, where the soul, when it is mature, is polarized. That is, it is implanted in the intuitive level, constituting the lower particle of the internal being. So the internal being is the energy field responsible for giving us, offering us, and conducting the evolutionary experiences in combination with the law of karma. When we are under the law of karma, or with the higher evolutionary law, when we pass to the higher evolutionary law.
What is to be born and die? Daniel Gagliardo says, what we call being born, as well as what we call dying, are cycles and stages, alternations that the consciousness of the individual needs to concretize. It needs to be made as an evolutionary experience to master the cosmic laws. A being is born to be able to be submerged in matter, experiencing the domination of the material laws, and dies when the conditions for the incarnation are insufficient. It passes again through disembodiment to the internal levels and goes through what is called inner incarnation training, that is to say, a process proper to training outside matter.
Both dying and being born are necessary and complementary cycles at the evolutionary level. In reality, consciousness is immortal. The only thing that the being does is to lose transitory conditions that it acquires when it incarnates, and that has to renounce to them. It has to detach from them when it disembodies, but the consciousness is immortal. We believe that being born as well as dying has to be seen as a process that the energy offers us to become more flexible and not to be attached or unnecessarily identified with anything.